Good afternoon, everyone. This is Duran over at Alpha 7 Trading Academy, here with another recap. It is Monday, February 13th, 2017. Today will be a really quick recap. We took 3 trades. We took Netflix, Disney, and Gild in that order. So the first trade we took was Netflix. Now, Netflix, we were getting in right off the open. It was actually a pre-market setup, okay, where we had the 1, 5, and 15 setting up here for a possible setup, even the daily. So what we did is we put an order out at 145, 42 at 937. So you can see here it was right around this level from the pre-market. And then once it broke out through that pre-market, our stop was the hourly 5 MA because it was really tight. It was only about a 10-cent risk. And just right away upon triggering, we were able to catch profits all the way up, all the way till around 95s. I believe my last partial was 109.81s to the highs. 145.81 for the last partial at the highs before I got stopped out for the trailing at 145.35 for the remaining shares, giving me a profit of $133 on 500 shares. I could have easily done 1,000 shares on this, but since it was the first trade of the day, it was a little flimsy. I decided to cut the risk in half this way just in case it didn't work. I'm not so far into the deep end to try to push myself back to positive for the rest of the day. Then we went on to look at Disney, and as you can see, it was a day. Even though we were pushing up and making new highs on the overall market and SPY, it was still hard to find opportunities that were mimicking that attitude. So the next thing we took was Disney at around 10 o'clock, actually 10:01 to be exactly. And this looked like it was going to work out really nice. I really thought it would. So let me just bring this up here. So here's 10 o'clock, and you can see that breakout over there. You see 10 o'clock here. And this was only based on the 1 minute and 5 minute. And the setup was based on a pullback. You can see here that it trended up, pulled back to the mid BB, and then it decided to pull back. And at this point, at this level, is where I decided to get in. So we got in at 109.80s, and with 109.80s, we were able to push all the way up to around 89s, 90s, and I actually took half of my shares because I didn't really like the action, and we touched the 5-minute upper BB. And as you can see, that was the right choice because once that happened, we literally pulled down. I had the rest of my shares stop us out, and I was only able to take a $15 gain on 1,000 shares. So although we were pushing up and it was working out in the beginning, it ended up failing, and we weren't able to take Disney for the long run. But nevertheless, it was still a profitable trade. It didn't let it get negative on me, and that is the way you build consistency. So the last trade was Gild. Has been having some action lately, and I got into Gild 1,000 shares at 11.11. Make a wish, guys, right? 11.11. So let me just pull it up here. And this was amazing. In the beginning, it didn't really start off so well, but then it started to gain some momentum, and you guys should look at the blog. So here you could see that, and I believe this is a little too far out from yesterday. There you go. So here you could see we had a 1 minute, 5 minute, and a 15-minute setup. So we had a 3-lane perfect storm breaking out simultaneously. We had the 1 minute over the 80 band and continuing to stay over the 80 band until 11 o'clock. At that moment, it triggered right here. Our entry was above this red candle on the 5-minute, 67.25s. So we got in at 67.25s for 1,000 shares, and you can see that it pushed up just a bit, right? And at the same time, if you look at the 15-minute, the red candle also, the high was 67.24. So our entry for 67.25 was based on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. And you can see here we used a 15-minute 5 MA trailing stop. Although it did dip earlier before triggering, it was able to close above the 5 MA, which still merited the ability to continue on with taking the trade. And at that moment, it broke out. We took a little bit of partials because it was taking so slow, and then we let the remaining 500 shares or so continue to run on all the way to around 67.67. 67.67 was actually my last partial, which was the 15-minute 5 MA, as you can see here. And that stopped us out for the rest, giving me a profit of $158 for the trade on 1,000 shares, which is 15.8 cents. With all those 3 trades together, closing up before lunchtime, I was able to close up with $306 on 2,500 shares. That's 5,000 shares round trip. So if you do the numbers here, and I'll just put them out here so you could see, that is 306 divided by 2,500, gives me a little more than 12 cents per average share of 2,500 shares, which is great. Being in the double digits is always a great thing in terms of per average share. And we're able to close up the day for Monday, the first day of the week, with 3 times our risk in positive ground. So this is great. Don't forget that this week is going to continue to slow down up until Friday because we're reaching a 3-day weekend. The next Monday is President's Day, and the markets are closed, which means that 3-day weekends, traders usually leave early, and volatility and volume start to dissipate, making it a little bit more difficult to take some profit. So be aware of that as we move on throughout the week until Friday, and you'll actually see that the volume will start to dissipate and it'll become harder to find opportunities. But no need to worry about that now. As long as you have it in the back of your head, you'll be able to play it out later on tomorrow and the next days and so on. So hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Hope you were able to take something out of it. And stay tuned for the next recap, either tomorrow if I have time or the following days. Until then, enjoy. And if you have any comments or questions, post them out in YouTube. Have a great day, guys.